All righty. Well, we've got an update, so let's start there.
Oh,
The saga
starting there.
continues.
So real
Let's
quick,
start there.
yesterday, we covered Foodmoon.
2 days ago, we
Oh, 2 days
originally
ago.
covered Foodmoon.
Yes.
Yes. Then
Monday.
the Foodmoon team came, and we had some questions and some criticisms, and then the Foodmoon team came into our Discord and said they would love to hop on and answer our questions. That has not happened. We actually have not heard back from them since we invited them on. We have DM'd them and such, but they seem busy. So who can blame them, really? Their mint was then yesterday, and they have about 102 holders. They've minted 242. And they have now lowered the public mint price, correct? I think it was what was it, 0.15 or something before?
Yeah, I can't remember. I
It's
remember it was
now
up. It was pricier.
0.11, I think, or just 0.1, something like that. And we've also, one of our main questions was about the money that they were going to be giving out to all their holders.
Right. They had
And
basically it was, are they promised? Is it too good to be true? Like their
is it too good to
promises
be
were
true?
very,
That was
yeah,
the headline.
yeah.
And we've got some updates here in their Discord from the team, and there is a lot changing here as of this morning. So they're continuing. They had all these giveaway schemes, and
Well, and
it's
real
got
quick,
yeah.
how many were they trying to mint? How much was up for a mint or up?
There was 5,000 is the total
Okay, so
supply.
5,000. They've minted 200
Mm-hmm.
some, and they had
They did have
11,000
11,000 Discord
in their
members. They now have
Discord.
10.9. So there's an exodus happening.
Yeah, so those are just some hard numbers I think are important to digest here. Because yeah, it's like, okay, so they had a pretty decent Discord amount, but they only sold 200. That is like
Very
that's
low, very
that's
low.
less than 2%
Yeah.
conversion rate, which to me is like raising some red flags on how many of those users they have in their Discord are actual real users.
Well, and then not
Um,
only their Discord, then you've also got their Twitter account, and you got
mhm.
all of these other marketing mechanisms that they had at their disposal. And it does seem like they sold they minted a very low quantity for the amount of marketing and hype and the size of the whitelist too. The whitelist was completely full. So there's it's interesting to see how this all breaks down, and I think it's good to follow up with these projects and see how these projects really do in the real world. So are continuing with doing giveaways every 55 minutes. They're going to do $5,000 giveaway split into 2 raffles. I mean, it's kind of confusing, honestly. There's going to be $2,500 raffles every between 51 to whatever numbers online. It's like there's still a bunch of raffle stuff. Okay. But what I want to get down to is one thing that we had a criticism on was the legendary prizes. It says here the original prizes for the legendary are not a sustainable model anymore due to changes that need to be done in order to continue to hit our holder milestones. This is the reason for the modification prizes. So every epic Foodmoon NFT will grant you $1,000 once now. That was $5,000 once. And every legendary Foodmoon NFT will now grant you $1,000 per month for 1 year. So we do have finally a cap, a time limit on that. It's not in perpetuity seemingly anymore.
It's not forever.
Ever. And it's 1,000 instead of 5,000. So expectations have been tempered. And I think, this just shows where it can be tricky when you're promising all these giveaways and all this. It's so dependent on there being a huge influx of money coming into the project for these giveaways to be sustainable and to be realistic. So
Yeah, man. And at this point, you're kind of like, okay, so now the clock is ticking. It's like, okay, when you don't start fulfilling these promises, right?
Yeah,
these
the
thousands of dollars
community
too.
is gonna start to disappear.
Well, not just the community, but then you start running into legal things because this
Yeah,
is
that's
security, basically,
yeah,
right? They're saying
yeah,
you own this NFT, you're granted X amount in returns,
yeah,
and if they, this is where it becomes like, okay, are you going to be a rug, or is this just a failed project, or is it, because they have to stick with it, right? They have to
yeah.
stick with it.
Yeah, and now
Yeah,
they are also offering refunds for OG
so that's good. That's
OG
good.
holders. Also refunds for people who bought at the high, who minted at the higher mint quantity.
Yeah, because they lowered it point
Yep.
0.5 or whatever,
So,
or yeah.
they're trying to make things work. And I think, yeah, we will see. I know that some of the first winner of a giveaway did receive his winnings. So
Good. That's good
they
news.
did,
Good news. Yeah,
they
see,
have
as long as
showed
they
up and done
fulfill
that.
their promises and they keep at it,
Yeah.
they should stay
Now,
out of trouble, you know what I mean?
Now, if you were someone who bought or minted and with the expectation that these other things were going to be higher amounts and were going to be greater than they are now turning out to be, yes, you might be disappointed and you might just be selling out. I haven't looked at OpenSea to see what the floor price of these is. I should probably do that
Yeah.
real quick, but yeah. So this is just an interesting turn of events. I think it's to see that those original mounts are not, realistic is just a little bit of indication, I feel like, for us because we were feeling that in our gut.
It was a
So
little,
here we
yeah,
go.
there's too good, yeah.
Here's our floor price is point 0.1. So it's barely holding on to that pretty much that mint price at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you would want to see on a project, the floor to be above mint, right? Because then the holders
Yes.
have belief in the project
Yeah.
and they're confident in it, and they're
Well, and
gonna
I know they
value it
were
more in the market.
incentivizing people to only list for point 0.5. They were saying if you listed for point 0.5, you'd be entered in a giveaway. So, that's kind of a
Oh, that's smart.
sneaky little
Yeah.
trick there, but it's still not the floor price is still sitting at point 0.1. So,
Yeah, I think those changes probably did scare away a lot of people. I mean,
yeah.
the conversion rate, man, that's what kind of
Yeah.
rate, that's a big,
Yeah.
you gotta, this is why you DYOR and you'll really get in an in the group, in a
Yeah.
Discord, and see how active are actual people. Are there actual, does this make sense with the numbers to how active this is?
Yeah, and
Um,
it is surprising. There's a lot of chatter, in the general.
yeah.
It is a pretty active
Well,
group, but it is surprising me that only 100 of their members have minted. I mean, that just does seem. I'm actually surprised. So I don't know what that says about the quality of the Discord members, but
I don't know. It's hard. They could have just had a lot, they could, yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. It's hard. But, good luck for them. I hope
yep.
they stick with it.
Oh
And
yeah, they
maybe
have
Mr.
19,000 followers on Twitter
Yeah,
too.
I would think this would sell more. That's what I would
Yeah,
think.
it is. It is. It's
Um,
interesting. Curious is what I would say. Very
um,
curious.
yeah, and you just gotta understand that's how many fake accounts are there on so many of these
Yeah, and Crypto
Discord
One
people?
Up says so many coins are faking Discord chats and buying active members. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
very easy to buy a bunch of members and they just get flooded into your Discord. So,
Yeah,
and those
people
are
are
all just
selling bots like crazy
fake.
to create Discord
Yeah,
accounts and then just join your server, and
yeah.
it is really easy to manipulate a Discord server, and that's kind of
Oh
the
yes.
pain in the ass about it.
Yep. Yep.
It's kind of
Well,
it's
and
just
that's why
spam
again,
central,
it's all about doing a deep research, right? It's not just looking at the number. It's a
right?
going into the Discord and seeing how much actual engagement is there and how much,
Right,
does the community actually exist? Is it
right.
real?
Check on like who's online, right?
Yeah,
Go scroll through the
that can be
members
fake
list
too,
there,
but yeah,
and yeah, true.
yeah,
But if there's ways to kind of really engage it and chat with people. Like if it's just constantly people just saying, unless Frank's. Okay, Frank's a different one. Frank's is just Frank. But if you're most Discords, if they're just saying, GM, hello, hi, how's it going, and there's not really communication going on between several different people, that's like really suspicious.
Super
Yeah.
suspicious. Yeah. I mean, that's why you have to be a detective. If you want to be in the NFT space, you have to act like a detective. You have to find the scams and it makes you feel good. You're like, I avoided a scam. Huh, look at me. I'm learning.